The Zarath Imperium ruled over 3 arms of the galaxy, and no one opposed them. They had no idea what they had begun. The Selthari possessed fleets the size of the Drift and none of the other ancient powers. Of moons, they set fire to worlds for amusement. When they happened upon Earth, when their first scout fleet reached Sol space, they were mistaken to believe it would be another simple conquest. Without warning, they destroyed Europa's colonies, killing 2,000 citizens in a matter of minutes, pummeling Mars, causing the domes to become craters. Before arriving at Earth orbit, Captain Aaron Riker was in the war room of Earth Defense Command when his knuckles were white against the console when the initial reports arrived. Civilians, he asked through thousands, they're not even targeting military sites. The clenching of teeth, voice trembling, the intelligence officer added, they're giving an example. The Zarath sent their message over all human frequencies. It was played on all stations, all screens, and even hacked into. A nasty, guttural voice over military channels said, "You are not worthy, you will either die or kneel. The Imperium owns your world." Aaron viewed the video, which showed the burning colonies, broken stations, and drifting corpses in orbit. His mouth clenched until he saw that these weren't soldiers. Families, employees, scientists, and the president termed and unarmed, defenseless generals of the Emergency War Council discussed surrender, and diplomats pleaded for "they killed our guys" and publicized it. Aaron Riker said, "You think they want peace," he said in a quiet voice that could be heard throughout the room. One general remarked, "Captain, we can't fight them. They want us dead." Aaron interrupted, "Their technology. We will fight." He gestured to the "You want war?" Aaron snarled while gazing at the screen that displayed the Zarath fleet in orbit, directly into Earth's emergency broadcast's holo camera. Then faced destruction. He broadcast it widely on all frequencies and on all channel, which also included Zarath's. Earth's concealed defense arrays began firing kinetic slugs within hours after the ignition. Nuclear-tipped missiles roared from subterranean silos, shredding the first alien destroyer, the first Zarath. Over the Pacific, Riker, a warship, split apart in low orbit, dumping molten wreckage, personally assumed command of the First Fleet. His battleship Vengeance sailed from Luna's secret shipyards. 50 human battleships trailed, ruthless, outgunned, and not as elegant as the aliens. As his crew readied themselves for the initial attack, Riker remarked, "They want a war built to kill." The fight for Earth orbit started, and his eyes blazed with icy rage. "We'll give them one they won't soon forget." Human spacecraft battled like crazy dogs that night because they lacked energy shields. They used 3 meters of armor, and instead of using energy weapons, they shot. Zarath cruisers were devastated by the relativistic speed of tungsten slugs. Barrage-damaged ships were slammed into enemy carriers by human pilots. Marines loaded shotguns and plasma torches into extraterrestrial ships in pursuit of Riker's revenge. Led the attack. He sat in the command chair, giving clear, and Captain Vengeance's primary railgun fired at a perfect target on their command ship eye. The slug caused a huge hole in the bridge of the alien flagship, allowing the atmosphere and crew to escape. The Zarath hesitated for the first time. This wasn't how their wars worked. Typically, the victim wasn't intended to defend themselves or be this enraged, but Aaron Riker wasn't fighting for territory. He was fighting for every child that was burned on Europe, not for diplomacy. A family slaughtered every innocent man, woman, and child on Mars. He would not stop until the Imperium itself was reduced to ashes, and he did it without regret. The conflict continued for hours, shattering space above Earth into a cemetery. Railgun strikes caused hulls, drifting bodies, and debris fields to glow red-hot. Despite being outnumbered, human ships battled like wolves in a corner, refusing to back down. Aaron Riker stood erect on the command deck, his face illuminated, as Vengeance pushed through the confusion of capitulation. By tactical screens that flickered, his eyes were piercing but black with something. He barked at 5 enemies in the deeper cold rage report. His ex-commander, Briggs, responded, "We've lost 6 frigates and 2 destroyers, and 3 more cruisers are crippled. They're bringing reinforcements, but for now, they're in orbit," Briggs answered quietly. Riker's jaw clenched as he realized that the fleet was arriving from the outside system. Wouldn't end here. The Imperium would escalate burn Earth if they had accepted a standstill. Let them come, fine, Riker thought, opening a fleet-wide channel. This is Captain Riker, and your voice reverberated throughout all human ships. You battled like legends, but they're not finished yet. They believe we'll. After a little pause, we won't make lengthy speeches about his men. Didn't require them. They understood the reason for their conflict. They had witnessed the burning colonies and the massacre of residents. The second Zara fleet leapt into the outer system in deep space. Dreadnoughts bristling with 100 ships, massive carriers, siege platforms, weaponry. The bombardment was already being prepared by their Admiral High Lord Vegekar. Earth's trajectory, we will glass their world, Vikar yelled at his staff. Primitive animals will watch their cities burn from orbit if they dare to resist us. However, something unexpected occurred as they approached Earth. Human forces didn't wait for deep space to listen. Posts detected the fleet movements in a matter of minutes, and Riker moved too quickly. In order for Zaroff to make adjustments, he ordered hunters to be deployed in the asteroid belt. As human stealth frigates fired up, they were concealed among rocks and rubble. Little fast that is intended for ambush rather than defense. Dozens of them rush in the direction of the running asteroids. Thermal shadows are hugged by an advancing alien fleet. Silently, a huge Zaroff carrier sprang the first trap in the quiet of space. The vanguard was commanded by Bloodthrone, and its escorts dispersed widely, but not sufficiently, forming a swarm. Volleys of nuclear torpedoes as a group of human stealth frigates sliced through their flanks, the initial explosions blooming like tiny stars. The blood shields gave way to the onslaught of hull bridge workers shouted as plates were torn apart, and the atmosphere was released in fire gouts. On his own terrifying primitive, Vikar growled in rage as the spacecraft broke apart. Apes were employing such rudimentary weapons, but they were damned effective, so he ordered the fleet to strengthen their formation, but it was too late to reverse the tide. They were harassed by smaller but faster human forces. Hit and fade, kill at any opportunity, and elsewhere, Riker was getting ready for the next stage in Earth's orbit. Briggs eventually warned that there were too many of them, so we took the battle to. You mean I'm not waiting for them to burn Earth? Riker asked, and Briggs blinked. We attack their supply lines, and their jump relays make them fight on our terms, Riker snarled.